Greetings, EWOWians. After orbiting planet Life Decay for a few rounds, we have finally crash-landed into EWOW 10A. This is your Captain Lpcarver speaking, and I'll be taking you to find your leader this episode.
Okay. Enough with the astro talk. Let's get back to business. In case you forgot, the 10th EWOW prompt was, come up with an alternative use for a food item. There's so much food you could pick from. Surely there's something in there that we can find another use for. Especially if eating one day becomes taboo. We should prepare new uses for all this food we've got. Of the 830 remaining contestants, 972 of them submitted, which means the turnout this time was 117.11%. No, wait, hold on. Of the 972 remaining contestants, 830 of them submitted, which means the turnout this time was 85.4%. To gain an extra life this round, you need to place in the top— Whoa! Hold the phone. There we go. We've made it to EWOW 10, meaning nobody will be gaining any more lives. However, the top echelon of competitors will still gain a prize. It'll just be different. Let's change that life gain color to a double response prize color. Whoosh! That's better. In order to gain an additional response for EWOW 11, you'll need to place in the top 42, and to avoid losing the now limited resource of lives, you'll have to place in the top 423, while the lava pit will claim another life from the bottom 407 competitors this round. Since life decay is coming into full effect this round, I'm going to review exactly what's going to happen so that everyone is on the same page. Starting in EWOW 10B, after results, anybody that has 4 or more lives will have 1 life removed in exchange for a double response prize they can use for the next episode. Anybody with 3 or less lives will be entirely unaffected by this change, other than the fact that they can no longer regain lives. You might be wondering, LP, if I have 4 lives and I lose a life during the next round, will life decay put me at 2 lives? No, life decay only happens after the results are finalized. If someone with 4 lives places in the life loss region, life decay will not affect them. And since they lost a life naturally instead of from life decay, they wouldn't get any double response prize. However, if you had 5 lives, then lost a life, you'd be at 4 lives after results, and 3 lives after decay. But you'd get the double response prize, in this case. Since the prizes for being in the top 5% of competitors has also changed to a double response prize, it's possible for people affected by life decay who also prized that round to gain an effective triple response prize for the next round. For instance, if you place in the top 42 for this round, and you lose a life due to life decay, you'll be able to craft 3 whole responses for EWOW 11. Double response and triple response prizes do not carry over between episodes, so if you don't use them for the episode after you win them, you lose them. Okay, no more decay. Let's focus more on growing our pool of votes to make sure our responses grow up accompanied with happy and healthy percentages. And this is the part where we cut to carry.
So how do you vote? Well, do you see the blue region at the bottom of the screen? Click at a random spot in that region. You'll see 11 responses and a keyword in the upper right. In your comment, type a square bracket and then type the keyword, space. Then, rate the entries from best to worst using these letters, A through K. Finish it off with another square bracket and you're done. You can type other stuff in your comment too, and you can vote more than once in one comment. And you can comment more than once. Please vote with all 11 letters in your vote. Only votes with all 11 letters will count.
The voting deadline will be Saturday, December 7th at 11:59 p.m. PST, 2:59 a.m. EST for any of you in the best time zone. Remember that you can vote up to 20 times without losing any voting power, and 5 random people that voted at least 20 times will get a shout out in the next episode. Tell you what, to celebrate this new stage of the game, if we can get at least 80 super gorgeous, awesome, crazy, cool 20 voters this episode, I'll say all the names of every single book in the top 1,000. That's a free guaranteed shout out if you're still in. we're clear to take back off into space. Along the way, you'll find people begging Stealthy Septile to read their confessional, along with the rapidly passing voting screens. We'll rejoin you once we land at EWOW 10B. Blasting off in 3, 2, 1...
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of this, the comments are gonna be like, dude, you've asked them for so many things, their comments are gonna be like a checklist.
It's a laundry list of
Grocery shopping.
It's gonna be like
They've got to include their vote in it as well.
Yeah.
DM 57 to Arrow Asteroid on Discord to get a shout out in 11B.
Oh god.
Because I am
You know,
hosting
the
11B.
best part is that Dark made that as confessional, and I think was it 6A? Me and Loser actually did that.
No, I did that, but I asked people to DM Julian instead.
Yeah,
And then
actually, yeah,
and then
we
a
did
bunch
it.
of people. I think Julian actually had to turn off his DMs after 5B because that was when that was when the normalized rank leaderboard started being shown and I was in them. So my confessional got shown in 5B. And like the confessional itself, it said DM Julian 57 for a shout out in 5B. So obviously if you're watching it in 5B, you're already too late. So it's kind of meaningless at that point, but still, Julian still kept getting DMs from it, and it was really funny.
I mean, the ironic thing is that both me and Loser got mentioned in 5B anyway.
Yeah, because you just had like lives, and then I did the cheating server stuff.
Yeah, you
I
did
think
the
I got a
cheating.
voter shout out.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I'm so glad the cheater stuff has died down in the EWOW. I hope by saying this, I'm not like stressing affecting this, but like just no, don't say that, don't say that. But oh my god, that was
Hey everyone, if you're watching this, start cheating.
No.
Hey everyone, if you can hear us right now,
You're not deaf.
Yeah, if you can hear us right now, you're watching the EWOW episode.
If you're going to cheat, what you should do is
hear us
use the
right
same
now,
screen.
please let us out.
Totally foolproof to use the same screen. We totally won't catch on to it.
Yeah, just use 10 separate YouTube accounts and vote on the same exact screen with the same exact vote.
Let's stop talking about this.
With the... Sorry.
I don't think we ought to be incentivizing people to do this, even as a joke. It's okay. The audience members
The
would never
stricing
do
effect
this.
isn't real. Clueless.
Oh no.
Shut up.
What you should do actually is, if you've not noticed already, YouTube changed its the scroller thing to be pink at the ends.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Which
know.
I think it looks really weird.
That's all.
I
Yeah,
like the change, honestly. Am I crazy?
I like it.
I think it's
Looks
cute.
cool.
I think they should add like a dark red or something at the beginning.
I think they should add
Instead
of
dark at the
Ooh.
beginning.
Gradient.
Just my book.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dark.
Yeah, every time
I
you
mean,
click
the
on
real
a
question
video.
is
My name is Darkiplier.
No.
this the bite of EWOW 87? B?
Oh my god, who was it?
Bite
Someone
of
submitted
88.
a reference to the Bite of 87
That was
That was
Jade.
Jade. That was Jade.
8 lifer.
Should have become a 9 lifer.
Actually,
that should
she
have
might not
prized.
be at 8 lives now. Because it's
She's
like
at still at 8 lives. She
heavy.
survived.
The best thing is, did you see what her comment was on like AA? It was like, I am really playing to a certain audience. I hope no one in TC votes on my response.
It did not work.
Honestly, I would vote that high though. It's
So
kind of
would I.
funny.
It's unique and it's confident in what it does. That's what I like from my response.
My
Yeah.
boyfriend loved the response because my boyfriend loves Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay then, voters, you know what to do to get 100% from LP's boyfriend.
Yeah, true, actually. Yeah, this is the meta. You just,
everybody knows that.
Everyone's
So,
always looking
guys-
for a way to do better in EWOW, but no one wants to admit that this is the way to do it. Play to one specific voter, and then like you just roll the like 1 in a billion chance that your response only gets 1 vote, and it's that person.
Yeah.
This is how we win.
It worked in EWOW 1.
That is true. It did work in EWOW 1 for several people. See, why could it not work again?
I will be that person who got no votes.
Yeah, true, actually. You're just gonna get 50%.
Actually,
and
iconic.
cry.
How are they doing now?
I think they
they're
stopped responding.
eliminated.
Aw,
Yeah.
they could have been a legend.
Yeah.
I did check this, and I'm pretty sure there's only like 3 people from the top 20 in EWOW 1 that are still in.
Oh no, they didn't
Dang.
they did not stop responding. That person was Blessed Boxy, by the way, and they responded to EWOW 2 and 3 and lost alive both rounds.
Oh,
Aww.
This is so sad.
maybe they should have gotten 0 votes again.
Yeah. I think their
Just
strategy
gamble
of
one more time.
I think their strategy of not getting voted on was a lot better than their strategy of getting voted on and getting eliminated.
Oh,
That's true.
What episode had like the second least? Was it episode 3? I think had the second least like vote weight per response.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it was. This episode 2 had quite a lot because obviously the 2 videos.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I think that was the round where like there was the least like actual vote weight.
Yeah,
on the
and you had like
responses.
you had things like the where actually go to heaven, I guess, prizing with 2 votes.
Yeah,
iconic.
It's so weird to think about EWOW 1 now. Like that just seems like the bajillion years ago. Like how is that real?
And it was around 1 year ago. That is
No, don't say
that.
Well, it's already been a year.
Sign-ups at least.
When was 1B? It must have been like
Sign-ups have been
1B was like March. Yeah, 1B was only about 6 months ago. No, 7 months ago.
Yeah, that's true actually.
That's only half a year then. Dark was gaslighting us.
No, it's been almost a
Technically.
year since 0A and the EWOW 1 prompt was revealed.
What happened to the 32nd of November?
Yeah.
Probably closer to
I don't
that.
Imagine if that was the prompt.
I'd have response like prepared for if that was a prompt. I was going to make a pun about like something like a 30-second time limit or something.
Wow.
I was like, so confident.
You just had the prep like right from the get-go. You were just prepped for it.
Yeah, because I was worried I was going to like completely forget it happened, and then like I would have like 5 seconds left to respond. I was like, oh, it's convenient. I've just got this one sitting right here.
I wonder if the what's it called? You know how Carrie said that he could like reuse like a potential prompt in like season 2 back in like WoW.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
It was like the taboo eat one.
The taboo restaurant.
Yeah.
The one that Michael wrote.
I think some nerds just like reuse it. I'm like,
True. We just get that exact.
I think you should just make the prompt taboo, and that's it.
Taboo.
Just the word taboo with the question mark.
Responding to this prompt is taboo, but
What if the
respond
world-
anyway and justify it.
what if the world was made out of taboo pudding?
Yeah, like taboo pudding specifically.
Yeah, just taboo pudding.
My response: damn, I kinda ate that.
Instant first place, you win.
Let's go. I thought there was another prompt that Carrie talked about redoing in season 2. Maybe there was, but I don't remember. Like other than the restaurants one.
My
I know
favorite prompt
Carrie
from
gave,
season
like, a-
1 was the what I can't remember which one it was. Was it the one where it's the one and it's got the winter?
Oh, like the 1 syllable one?
Yeah, that I got that out quite well, didn't I?
Yeah. And then you survived. Well, no,
I
you
survived.
didn't survive next
Yeah.
round.
I
What
was
am I talking
cooking and then
And
yeah,
then you stopped.
Yeah, you didn't even get to respond to the
word I
the
chose.
teleport
Yeah, I
prompt.
wasn't the only one though.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, I'm playing Pokemon in the background of this. I've just found a shiny Snover randomly wandering around.
Rare
Shout out all the
occurrence.
Pokemon fans. Anyways,
Oh, Snover.
If you're still listening, put that one as your favorite Pokemon in your comment.
Yeah.
This is like
if you commented a couple episodes ago talking about what your favorite Pokemon was, as we asked for, go back and edit that comment and say that which Pokemon was it?
Snover.
LP? I forgot. Yeah, tell us that that's your new favorite Pokemon now.
Yeah, now you could say that you predicted this.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance that there's a response with Snover in it right now.
That's true.
But
I mean, I don't know what the prompt is gonna be that like for the episode that we're currently on. But
what if
it's
the world was made out of
it's an image prompt with a Rorschach ink blot, and the prompt is who's that Pokemon?
That would be
It's kind of similar to the current prompt, though.
true, actually. I mean, you have that graphic with the 12 zodiac animals, and the 13th one whose silhouette is just all the silhouettes added together, and you just gotta answer who is
that's
that?
what that is.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was like a random like Pokemon, honestly.
Could have been. See, LP, why did you not put a Pokemon in that section? It would have been funny.
Oh, you should have done like Pikachu or something.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, I guess that's fair, actually.
I mean, I don't think it would have actually mattered, but
Yeah, at least
it's one of like the most recognizable silhouettes.
Yeah, we gotta play it safe, you know.
It's like one of the most recognizable silhouettes of like an actual thing, like the Eiffel Tower. That's not an animal. What am I saying?
No, I think it could be an animal if you really think about it.
My favorite animal, the blob.
The blob.
Sledge.
Ooh. Ditto, the Pokemon.
Giant mass of black with question mark in front of it.
Yeah, that's
my favorite animal.
That's
is,
what my
pineapple mold.
That's what my response to the EWOW 9 prompt is gonna be.
I love mold colony.
So if you guys are seeing this in 9B, go back and edit your vote to put dark higher.
That's true. I think it's like 10A, maybe even 10B by now. Actually, I'm not sure. I think we might be at the
Wild Dog
nearing the end of 9A, 10A
10.
right now. Yeah, my response to the EWOW 10 prompt is going to be awesome.
So
mine is going to be November was bad at Monopoly, so I had to trade it 11th word.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be. I don't even know we don't even know the prompts in advance, so we don't know what the EWOW 10 prompt is gonna be. Like to reiterate, we're recording this during the EWOW 9 responding deadline. Okay, we record these like in advance, so like we have no idea. Like we have no idea what the world's gonna be like once this episode comes out. Like maybe
EWOW 10 prompt has yet to be dragged up.
Yeah, maybe
from Athena by the depths of hell.
Maybe the entire world is gonna have ended by the time 10B comes out. Who knows?
Yeah, there could have been a mold virus that just spreads over.
We could have had pineapple mold soldiers taking over humanity, and all because of Trojan, due to the events that happened today, the day we recorded
exactly like a Trojan horse for the mold.
What do you think about the odds that your mistake today are going to doom humanity forever, Trojan? What do you think about that?
Sorry, I'm sorry if I'm quiet. The mold is taking over. I'm not. What are we talking about?
Oh god, it's starting.
It's happening.
No, can't believe we've.
May the mold consume mildew.
Yeah. I can't believe we've lost Trojan. You can even tell by the fact this PFP is green.
Well, you can't because you're watching the episode and you're assuming
the audience can't, but we can.
Dude, that joke is completely incoherent to Quagsire Lover. We have failed.
We're sorry, Quagsire Lover. Wait, what were the numbers again? I need to.
Quagsire Lover, 4 numbers.
It's 3235.
3235. Thank you, Quagsire Lover. We're sorry for letting you down. We hope to not do that in the future. It's fine. I'm sure Quagsire Lover is a benevolent lover of Quagsires.
Quagsire.
What even is a Quagsire? Let's think about the etymology of this word.
It's a Pokemon.
It's
well, quagmire is a word. It probably comes from that.
I hope it doesn't come from that.
Oh, it's actually a Pokemon. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a plain quagmire.
Same.
No, it's...
My Pokemon knowledge is just not it.
But yeah, a quagmire is a wetland, not a Family Guy character.
Well,
don't let the media fool you.
Don't let them hold
also a word.
Who said it can't be both?
Me.
Albert Einstein.
Don't let the media fool you.
Okay, well, Lpcarver said it can't be both, so you gotta pick one or the other. Hey, everyone, if you're watching this, comment once again. Pick which one you think it is.
In square brackets, comment A if you think the media is lying to you. Comment B if they're not.
Yeah,
your comment cannot include the letters OIL 0 or 1.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is 10B, so there isn't even voting, but you're gonna vote on whether the media is lying to you, I guess. I don't know.
Make sure you use curly brackets instead of square brackets this time, by the way.
Oh yeah, true. Otherwise, your vote for this incredibly important competition is not going to be counted at all.
And make sure to write :3 after your vote.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'd be
that's
like
also
fun.
That's also a rule. What other rules are
there?
And
then after you've finished all that, delete your comment.
True, actually. You have to do all that and then delete your comment so that no one ever sees it.
It's like the password game.
Don't worry, we're gonna count it.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna
trust us.
Yeah, we're gonna telepathically extract the comment from your mind the instant you do that. So it doesn't matter. That's the power of the EWOW team. That's what we're capable of.
The comment is tracked B.
Damn.
Oh my god.
I can't. We're gonna get inundated by having to telepathically extract all the thousands of comments of people saying, "Oh no, I got eliminated this round." In 10
That's why we hired so many more people, because we need more telekinetic people on our team.
Telekinetic people. Yeah, this is.
I was trying to think of like a noun for that, like
mind reading.
No, I guess you're right. Actually,
I don't know.
More mind readers on the
But
team.
yeah, if you ever wondered how we bring new people onto the EWOW team, this is how. Like this is the only criteria we select for.
Well, I thought we used Fiverr.
What?
Well, yeah, we just asked people who know, like, who have like telekinetic powers on Fiverr. Oh my god, this caramel.
This story's getting really hard to believe. I don't know.
No, people like there's like mind readers on Fiverr. They have like the orb in front of them and stuff.
Damn, that's how you know it's legit. They have the orb.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's from a mind reader because I've got the orb in my name.
That's true.
That's right.
You can see the future. That's how you get so many lives. You know what's going to prize and what isn't.
Okay, I can see as far ahead as EWOW 16B. The current front runner is it's quite foggy. I can't see it. Oh my god, the current front runner